Welcome back to MCOC. AlBundyRules got the brand new 7.2 just dropped. It came out about 30 or 40 minutes later than expected, which means probably forums, global, Reddit, all of them are probably swamped with people yelling, screaming, and demanding compensation by now. I want my generic 6-star awakening gem, dang it. Anyway, so let's get into this. So I took a quick peek into the path, which is why I selected the team I did. I decided to go with based on this. It looked like an easy path. I got superiority, so heroes benefit here. For armor up buffs, I got static blast, orb electricity. So every time they launch a special, I'm going to lose some of my power. I got to keep that in mind. And then I got flare, 300% attack, but 500% max health. So that makes a big difference on how the team I selected, which I'm going to explain as we go. I'm looking at Adrenaline Rush. So attack gains up to 100% damage reduction. So some of these are brand new things. I'm going to be learning them as I go. I know Kabam posted this stuff a bit ago and explained it, but it was like 3 pages long, so I highly skimmed it. I'm looking at doing the Modok boss, explaining my Magneto, who I brought. I'm figuring Magneto, even with the high health pool of that Modok, I'm expecting should be a pretty easy fight. The other 4 I'm bringing for the path, and I'll explain more what I'm looking at the boss fight as we get to that point. But so I focused on tech. I try to put a little bit more favor on hero champs based on the nodes, but I wasn't mandatory, but I mainly went with tech because of armor up. I didn't feel like doing too much thought. I went for quick, easy ones I knew of. Armor ups off the top of my head. Again, looking at that, superiority heroes, the armor up, they gain 20% resistance to power drain, and power steal effects, orb of electricity, and then the flare. So I'm on a clock with flare, bottom line. Got to keep that in mind. So I did bring also champs, not only with armor up, but I try to bring a couple that I know had some kind of healing built into them to make it a little bit easier knowing I'm going to be losing health. And depending on how the AI goes, how these fights go, I'm probably going to be needing to tap into some of that regeneration, starting with Guillotine 99. So she could be a 50-50 for this. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of her. Main thing I wanted her for was because of her armor up buff, but also because she has regeneration once she gets kind of low automatically, 15% or something like that. So I figured that would be beneficial here, give me like a little bit of extra life as needed. The problem with her though is I'm not going to be able to ramp her up to her ideal things most likely, because every time the defender uses a special I'm going to lose power. So I'm not going to be able to close out fights with an S3 most likely, unless I'm missing something somewhere or do something weird, but it would be really risky to try that anyway. So I'm just going to, I don't need to fight perfect. I don't mind getting some KOs along the way, so I'm perfectly fine with just using how I can. I did make a mistake and forgot to activate her pre-fight critical ability. Sometimes these pre-fight champs, I forget to activate something like, what should be like, it should be a setting to it. You just like automatically, always set it automatically, because I always would activate that if I'm remembering. So now double checking that nothing changed on the nodes. Again, so he'll get a little advantage on the hero aspect. The armor up is going to be beneficial. And of course, I always love having Guardian on my team just because he gives that extra block proficiency to everybody. It lets me feel a little more relaxed play. And on these walkthroughs, I always try to keep a little bit of relaxed play. I don't want to do over-the-top play that's unrealistic to replicate. There's some dang great players out there who show you how great they are on their videos, but 99.9% of people can't replicate it. So other than to ooh and ah at it, what's the point of watching? It's my opinion. Let me show you stuff that's not too over the top, yeah? As much as possible. Well, who we got? Guardian, Agent Venom. I am trying to, he's got power, so I'm trying to avoid I try to avoid intercepts when they have power going on because that's risky, but he keeps also blocking my attempts from that stupid tenacity. And it's taking me longer to finish this fight than I would like, much longer. And I am losing that power from that stupid degeneration. It's just ticking away, and this fight is not really going very well. So unfortunately, as I'm making my effort to make this an item-free walkthrough, when I say item-free, I mean no revives, no boosts, no health potions, something you could do just to get through on this. That's what I mean by item-free. So I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of use more of Guardian, but even on the bench, he still gives me the block proficiency, and I saved a little bit of health on him, thankfully, so I can swap him in, tag him in at the end for the boss fight if I decide to, with those little tag team swap no thingy-majiggies. So now I'm bringing in Warlock. Warlock's always someone I really enjoy in Havoc. And Warlock's a champ I do enjoy. I have found myself using him less and less as time goes on, especially later content, based on his attack is good, but not great like some of my guys. But I figured he would be good, and you see there with that 300%. I'm figuring 300%, his armor up. I need to get to his S3s for if I could get to an S3 for regeneration, which will be hard on these nodes. Figured it should work pretty well. So Warlock is doing well. If I can just get that last little bit down on Havoc, then it will make things a little bit easier, as I am literally on the clock on these fights. Tick tock, tick tock. Gotta get him done. And Havoc does his thing. Warlock does his thing as Havoc takes a nap face down into the ground. Moving on now, looking at the path, going to stay on the same path. The superiorities, superconductor, static blast, and flare. So I'm going to go over to Blade. So my team's already taken a pretty good beating, only halfway through the path, which is a little disconcerting. But you know what, I'll be fine. At least this time I remember to activate my pre-fight ability with Guillotine 99, so that makes me happy. Again, it's going to be hard to use Guillotine 99 to the way I really wanted. Who I would like to get her on her and on the S3 and to start up the fights ramped up. But even without that, she's pretty dang good, as we see here. And this is a ramp-up champ, not ramped up, and you can still see that she's doing pretty dang decent overall. That S2 did not stuff right there, and a big reason I wanted her, again, that armor up buff, but also that regeneration. I knew if stuff got tight, I started going down from that degeneration, that regen would at least give me a little bit of an extra bit to work with, and that saved me there as it went ahead and let me finish that fight. And next fight, good thing is I'll start off with the regeneration active, so that is a beneficial move. So far, most of the champs I brought are seeming to work out somewhat for how I wanted. Again, pretty much unscouted. This stuff was just released less than an hour ago. At least as by the time it was released. Second it started working, I got going. It's got to work on this stuff. So brand new, keeping it moving fast paced, nice and organic for you. None of that pre-staged fighting them 87,000 times, memorizing everything before putting it out to look cool. I just give you to it real, show you the real stuff, show you how it can work out, and so you don't have to overly rehearse this stuff. You can kind of go by the seat of your pants to make it happen. Is it always going to be pretty? Nah. If you're expecting pretty perfection, you're not familiar with my channel. My stuff's real. Let's make it happen. As Warlock does his little dancey thingy-majiggy with his head. What kind of person uses their head as a shield? Dude's got some mental issues, or robot, or whatever he is, alien, I forget what he is. Oh, when he goes down, he got mad at me for calling him weird for using his head as a shield. And he decided just to show me one and just went down. Well, I probably deserve that. Sorry, Warlock. We got Guillotine 99 here. I got my and so I'm trying to back up while I'm healing, and I don't know what Domino was doing. She was like a magnet stuck to me. She had a magnet in her foot. All I saw was her foot keep coming at me, and I don't know what happened there, but that was ugly. So this Domino fight's taken out two of my champs. That is not good. That second one was 100% on me. But at least Hulkbuster gets this down, still got plenty of health, and he's got his lower health regeneration. I'm almost done with this path, so a little nervous that I still got to fight before the boss, but based on my familiarity with Modok and a counter I'm bringing for him, I'm not too worried about that. As long as I can keep my counter Magneto full health, I'm feeling very confident about soloing that fight. But that also would mean I have to get through this Ultron without losing my Hulkbuster, because Guardian has nothing left, and I really want to use that to exchange at the end for a backup option in case I'm not able to solo with my Magneto. So if I lose my Hulkbuster here, which it's starting to definitely look that way, as I just decided to use my abs to block his fists. Not a good fighting strategy, but self-repair, big reason I wanted Hulkbuster in here. Knew that would give me a little bit of extra life. His evade just seems to be on point, though. Ultron's decided to break out some ninja skills all of a sudden. Don't you like it? In the description, I forget what evade percentage it says. It's low. It's like 10% or something, but that felt like it was like 80%. It was like moving and dodging and weaving, thought he was in Matrix or something. What the heck? Okay, so Yeah, that was not pretty. Barely got him under health. Well, I'm about a third left, so I have to break out Magneto, which I did not want to do for this fight. But I knew was a possibility, which is why I did bring him on my team instead of just tagging him in at the end, because I saw some metal, figured if I needed some help, he would get it done if I needed to. So it wasn't my hopeful intentions to use him before the boss, but so be it. Although, with this being said, I'm going to have to be fighting pretty dang good on the boss, as my Magneto's down at 43% now. So my team's pretty dang decimated. Can I finish this up item free? No revives, no potions, any of that stuff. Can I? Well, I hope I do. Otherwise, I did some false advertising on this video, didn't I? But I'm not a bait and switch kind of guy. I'm going to give you here what you came for. And thankfully, we got this little character selected, which could come in handy. And that's the reason I never went back to using Guardian after I got tore up with him on the first fight, because I knew I could tag him in here. So based on Modok being Modok, I decided to go ahead and switch from Falcon. He's going to be full health. And so now I have to decide, do I want to bring in my full health Falcon on Modok, who should be a pretty good fit, or do I want to bring in my less than half health Magneto, who I brought as my primary for this? So that is a good question here. I know I can do this with either one, but let's make things a little more interesting. Let's see if I can break out this solo. So I see Stampede, the block, they gain power, so I don't want to hit into the block. Blocking attacks on a percent chance for disorient. So I'm going to try to minimize my blocks, but well blocked. Reduce that. And some other stuff. But you know what? I was reading through it, but you can probably read it too. I don't think I got to read it too. I'm sure you can read it. But if not, who cares? I'm going to just use Magneto. I was starting to read through it, and it would probably make a difference with Falcon. It doesn't matter with Magneto. Let's just going to play. Let's do this. I'm still confident that I can solo this fight over 700,000 health with my less than half health Magneto. So I'm going to do some basic common Magneto strategy. Of course, the parry heavies. If I get some disorient, then I don't really care. I don't know how often it's going to happen based on the fact of based on the metal. I'm also trying to keep my distance when I see a power 1, so I could easily evade if I'm too close. When he does that S1, a good chance I'm going to get clipped, kind of like a yellow jacket type of S1. So kind of stay back. I accidentally took a little bit of block there. I didn't want to. So my power building was going too slow, so I started throwing some extra hits in there. That's when I tried to do heavy. It just didn't go. I don't know what happened. So I want to get to the S3. I'm feeling like a metal champ. S3 with 41 prowess, even on a 700,000 and something health. I think this is going to do a good chunk of damage is what I'm thinking. Let's see if I'm right. I could have went for an S2, S3 combo. I don't think that's going to be needed. I could be wrong. I'm seeing over 9,000 a tick of bleed damage going on. That makes me happy. 30 bleeds. I'm seeing Modok going down. Then I see that nice end brought him down to 12%. So then while I still have those prowess up, throw that S1 and boom, boom, boom. What do you know? Magneto made that effortlessly. You want an easy fight for that Modok? Use Magneto, okay? Simple, clear, easy. Do what I just did. Heck, probably a 4. No, you can't even bring in 4 stars into Act 7. So don't bring a 4-star, but even a low rank 5-star would have worked as easy as mine worked. That was effortless. Nice, easy counter. All right, so I'm hoping you enjoyed 7.2.1, Book 2, Act 7, Chapter 2, Quest 1. Oh, that is a mouthful. Holy wow. Keep in mind, I'm going to have the rest of them coming up on my channel very soon. Just drop coming on out. Don't forget to click that top left button, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you're the first to see my upcoming walkthroughs on these. I'll also be probably putting out some boss fights as time goes on as well. As always, thanks so much for watching. MCOC, AlBundyRules.